Hello, we started the weekend with 16 teams left in the FA Cup. 8 of them are on Match of the Day for you. Highlights of the first half of round 5 on the way. We'll analyse it all in the company of Kevin Kilbane and the immaculately dressed Leicester City goalkeeper Mark Schwarzer. 82 FA Cup appearances between them. Pedigree. So Reading of the Championship went all the way to the FA Cup semi-finals last season, eventually losing out to Arsenal. They've enjoyed the Cup this time round too. Premier League West Brom were at the Madejski Stadium. So was Simon Brotherton.
Reading may be enduring a frustrating season in the Championship, but they're at it again in the Cup. Victory today would see them into the last 8 for the 4th time in 7 years. West Brom have needed a replay to see off lower league opposition in both rounds so far, and are also aiming to reach the quarter-finals for the 2nd year running. Reading's lineup shows a couple of changes. New signing Dennis Rackles, a Latvian international centre-forward, makes his first start for the club, while Simon Cox is in for only his 2nd start of the season. Matej Vydra, with 6 goals in the FA Cup already, is on the bench as he returns from a hamstring injury. West Brom's manager Tony Pulis has named a strong side. Sandro comes back into midfield in place of Claudio Yacob, and Chris Brunt is in for his first start since the 3rd round replay at Bristol City last month. Craig Dawson makes way. Reading certainly have been something of a bogey team for West Brom in recent years. They've knocked them out 3 times in the last decade, twice in the 3rd round and once in the 5th round. Challenge on Berahino penalised. Berahino, who made his first start in the Premier League since Halloween last weekend. Brunt with the kick. No save required. No suggestion at any point that ball was going to come down quickly enough to trouble Ali Al-Habsi in the Reading goal. Robson Kanu surrounded but not deterred, and look at him go here. Now faced by Jonas Olsson. Good play, just a little too high for Rackles. Well, that's the best we've seen from Reading so far. Midway through the first half, totally surrounded, but he skipped away from the lot of them. And then an excellent ball, just a shade too high for the Latvian centre-forward. Into that near-post area, and walloped away by James McLean. Here's Sandro. He hasn't really helped a great deal there with his attempts to get the ball away. Snapshot just wide of the post from the captain, Paul McShane. First real threat to Ben Foster's goal. Sandro struggled to get the ball away with his first clearance. And then the snapshot. Close, but not quite close enough. Less than the classic so far, but as predicted, less than straightforward for the Premier League side. Here comes Oliver Norwood. Chris Gunter on the overlap. Norwood's delivery, and the header tipped over the top. Saved by Ben Foster from Robson Kanu's header. Reading pushing for an opening goal here. Whipped in by Norwood, headed goalward, and acrobatically saved by West Brom's goalie. It's worthy of note that West Bromwich Albion, as the Premier League side, have failed to have a shot on target in this match. Again, it's 4 times in the last 6 away matches that they've failed to have an effort on target. Rondon. Quinn trying to cover. Decent ball. Into Fletcher! Reading 0, West Bromwich Albion 1, and the captain does it again for Albion. It was Darren Fletcher who equalised at Peterborough in the last round, and now he has them in front at Reading, and it's Albion's first decent effort on goal in the match, and it's come 9 minutes into the second half, and the Premier League side ahead as they look to make it into the last 8 for the 2nd year running. Well, Albion just retreat into their shell and form a red wall that Reading will undoubtedly find hard to breach, certainly based on the experience of Everton a week ago. Obita for Reading. Trying to get past Chester, gets a free kick. Now, Brian McDermott's going to make a double change here as he looks to change the course of this FA Cup tie. Dennis Rackles is going to come off. Ola John on to replace him. The other change sees Simon Cox replaced by Mate Vidra, who scored a hat-trick in the third round replay against Huddersfield and 2 goals in the fourth round win at home to Walsall. He also got one in the third round in the first game, a 2-2 draw with Huddersfield. Looking to add to his 6 goals in the cup so far. Oh, and then back level! Paul McShane against his former club. Perfect response from Reading. And McShane, who went close in the first half, brings the Championship side level. They were only behind for about 5 minutes. The free kick whipped in, and McShane getting his head to the ball, Ben Foster getting his gloves to it, but merely diverting it high into the net. It's Reading 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. Well, I think it's fair to say that's an excellent and swift response from Brian McDermott's team. Sessegnon. Albion's turn to attack now. Drilled in low. Could be a chance. McLean. Excellent block by Chris Gunter. Can Albion avoid a replay for the first time in this season's competition? He'll take another replay if it means his team is still in it, that's for sure. Lovely flick there from Ola John. Here's Quinn. John trying to get away from Chester, free kick Reading. Remember, it was from a set play they equalised earlier in the half. 20 minutes to go. Foster might need to be on his toes. Oliver Norwood with the kick here for Reading. Floating that one in towards the far post! And they're ahead! And Michael Hector's got the goal! As Reading turn the cup tie round! Sneaking in beyond the far post! Hector caps an excellent midfield performance with a goal that has his team in front, and now with eyes on the quarter-final. Floated in by Oliver Norwood, and Hector got in behind Jonas Olsson to just squeeze the ball in at the far post, and it is Reading 2, West Bromwich Albion 1. Here's Norwood. Ola John, confidence suddenly flowing through the veins of these Reading players. Ola John fancies his chances. Reading looking to put the tie to bed here. Chase for Simon Rondon. Jake Cooper to get there first. Sessegnon intercepting. Sessegnon now for West Brom. Challenged by Hector. Gunter in swiftly on Berahino. Here's James Chester. That's not going to be a handball against Hector. Brunt into the penalty area once again, and the flag goes up on the near side. Certainly with the naked eye as the ball went into the box, I don't think there was much Michael Hector could do. Alex Pritchard looking to make an immediate impact. In by Brunt. Rondon tussling for it. Sessegnon, good ball in, headed away by Hector. And it will be a corner. Albion fans behind the goal, roaring their approval. Just a little over 6 minutes remaining. All hands on deck for Reading. Brunt with the delivery, flick to the far post, and walloped away by Oliver Norwood. Back out to Pritchard. Albion pushing in again, and it fell so invitingly for Darren Fletcher, but he couldn't apply the finishing touch. Well, this was a close thing here. West Brom so close to an equalising goal as the ball came bouncing back into the penalty area. Pritchard with the delivery, and Fletcher racing through unmarked. Here's Alex Pritchard. Good play. Berahino. Sessegnon. Oh, he snatched at it. Clear sighting of goal. And Stefan Sessegnon lashes the ball wide. West Bromwich Albion very close to sliding out of the competition. getting ready to make a very late change. Lucas Piazon. Distance on that throw from James Chester. And Chris Gunter kept his head there, waited for that to bounce, and Vidra finds Ola John. How Robson-Kanu's racing through the centre. He could finish this tie-off here. How Robson-Kanu for Reading! Oh, and it's wide! And it stays at 2-1, deep in added time. Reading on the break, with a great chance to make it 3. Still time perhaps for one last attack from West Bromwich Albion. Sessegnon into Pritchard. Ola John has done well since coming off the bench with an important interception, and Vidra now will take it down to the corner flag and use up some precious seconds. Support from Ola John. Could be a chance. It's 3! It's all over! Piazon's only just come off the bench, and with his first touch he makes absolutely sure that Reading are going through to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Last year's semi-finalists are at it again. Goals from Paul McShane, from Michael Hector, and this one from Lucas Piazon make sure that for the 4th time in 7 years, Reading are in the last 8 in the FA Cup. It was almost the last kick of the match. Indeed, it was the last kick of the game. And on the day, West Bromwich Albion of the Premier League, well beaten by Championship side Reading, who once more are on the march in the FA Cup. Reading are through, Albion are out. Reading 3, West Bromwich Albion 1. And it looks as if there's an altercation between Chris Brunt and the travelling West Bromwich Albion support. And it would appear as though Chris Brunt has been struck in the face by an object thrown from the crowd behind the goal. And Brunt, to his credit, still delivers his shirt to a young spectator in the crowd.
Chris, what happened? Because there's a cut underneath your left eye.
I was walking towards our supporters at the end, and they obviously thought it was alright to throw coins at their own players, which, I've been here 10 years and I've never seen anything like it. It's absolutely disgusting. And you go over to thank them for the support. There's a lot of them have travelled down here today, paid good money, and it's a small minority spoil it for a lot of them. And there's some young kids sitting in the front row as well that get the witness scenes like that, and that's just not on. I wouldn't like to be bringing my kids to a football match and seeing something like that. So it's absolutely disgusting. I'm ashamed of them today.
Everybody's disappointed we've lost a game of football, but you don't do things like that. That is absolutely disgraceful. And let's just hope they get the culprit, and he gets what he deserves, because that is so dangerous. The lad could have lost his eye.
Would you hope the club would take action as well if this person is identified?
I think the police will, never mind the club.
Brian, well done, congratulations. Where did that come from?
I know where it's come from. I thought we deserved to win the game. I thought, tactically we were right, and the boys gave us everything, and it was a tough game. We knew it was going to be. They've got good players. But we don't underestimate ourselves. At Madejski Stadium we're very difficult to play against, and we're trying to build something here. And the last few games we're starting to build what we need to build. We don't look like conceding, which is great. And today we scored 3 goals, so we're absolutely delighted to be in a quarter-final.
Fair play to Reading. Give Reading loads of credit, and I hope they get a really good draw in the next round.
You never know. Hopefully we can go a step further and get into the final. I was in the final with Hull City, and it was a great occasion. And it was the thing is, the only way you can enjoy that occasion is when you win the cup. So I don't know. You never know. Stranger things have happened, and we've got a belief now in the dressing room, and hopefully we'll see who we get in the next round, and hopefully we can crack on.
We'll talk about the coin incident in a moment. Let's first focus on the game. Now, Johnny is a Reading fan, got in contact about an hour ago and says, please don't just say West Brom are terrible. Give credit to Reading, who are the highest scorers in the FA Cup since the first round.
Well, Johnny's right. Reading were very, very good today, and they fully deserved the victory. I thought they started in the right tempo. They took the game to West Brom throughout the first half. West Brom were very poor in the first half, got a bit better. But I would like to point out to Johnny a few of the deficiencies within West Brom's backline. I think they gifted them the goals today at times. I mean, this is the first Reading goal. See, just circling Paul McShane there, centre. He gets the wrong side. They're in a good position initially, the West Brom back line, but Rondon and Johnny Evans just hold the line a little bit while the rest of them drop, and it becomes a little bit dishevelled, and Paul McShane takes advantage of that. He gets in front.
Yeah, the line's broken, you can clearly see. I mean, normally when you're defending, you've got to keep that line together. You've got to keep the gaps, narrower, so players can't get in behind you so easily. And that was very, very easy for McShane to get behind. In the end, he's got a header from about 6 yards out.
Yeah, this is Ola John. He came on. He made a difference for Reading when he came on as well, actually. He made a good impact on the match. Lovely little flick round the corner there initially. He then steps inside. I think it's James Chester. And again, it's another free kick. Jonas Olsson here is at the far post. He's got his body shape wrong. He doesn't see Michael Hector on his outside. And it's quite a simple goal, really. It's not a whipped-in cross. Michael Hector just gets the run on Jonas Olsson and wins it and gets his goal.
Do you blame the keeper? There's only 4 yards out, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, he heads the ball from very, very close. And I think, the way the free kick begins, it starts quite wide, but it's got quite a lot of bit of air underneath it. And in the end, when you look at it from there, where he heads it from, you'd think, well, I think Foster at some stage, it looks like he wants to come, then pulls back. And I think if he takes 2 steps forward, he takes that cross pretty easily.
Yeah.
And West Brom, really sloppy in the game as well, weren't they? And right from the start, Kevin, you could see that there were issues which caused all the problems that they had.
Well, no team in the Premier League has scored fewer goals in all competitions. But this is the start of the game, Dan, for them. And they started sloppy, I felt. No tempo to the game. This is Sandro taking the pass from James Chester. He just gets caught, doesn't get his first touch right. The Reading players swarm upon him, and that was in the first 10 seconds of the game, Dan, and that set the tempo, I think, for the first half. I think the distribution from back to front was poor at times, giving Berahino and Rondon no chance to get hold of it. But when the ball did come into them, I felt as though they were slack in possession. I think Berahino himself, he picks up the ball here and he's looking for his strike partner, and it looked as though there was no understanding between the two of them. There was no quality on the pass, no movement on the on ahead of the ball when one of them was picking it up. This is the prime example of it here, really. Both of them making the same run. Both coming short, both looking for the ball to feet, and this probably just capped off West Bromwich Albion's day. This is Sessegnon looking to play a ball wide when he has 4 or 5 bodies around him. That probably typified West Brom, particularly in the first half.
Yeah, and you struggled to pick out those because you said he could have had 20 or 30 in the same sort of instance.
Quite easily.
We've got to talk about the coin. Mark, it's been widely condemned, and rightly so. And it's when you look at the footage back, you see how close it was to Chris Brunt's eye, and you understand why he was so frustrated and angry.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's incredible if you think about it. I mean, the guy's got to be devastated first and foremost to be struck in the face. But, he's been in the club for a long, long time. He's played over 300 games for West Brom. He was captain of the club as well. I mean, it's a real slap in the face, and it's very disappointing when you've got an individual, because let's not go too far away from this. It's an individual as opposed to a lot of people, and I'm sure there's a lot of West Brom fans out there who are very, very disappointed by that one individual's actions.
Yeah, I don't think we can condemn the whole of the Albion supporters. I think you're right. I played the West Brom supporters going away from home, particularly on FA Cup days as well. They come in the numbers, and they're a well-supported club, particularly away from home. Yeah.
And a lot of West Brom fans who were in that crowd today, and they said they were trying to look for the guy who'd thrown the coin as well. And Ben Foster mentioned afterwards, you can see exactly what he said. Whoever threw that coin at Chris Brunt today, thousands, if not millions, of kids will see or hear about it. You're a disgrace. And Thames Valley Police and the Football Association, as Tony Pulis said, are investigating that incident. West Brom have released a statement themselves as well to say that the offender will face the severest of sanctions by the club. So we certainly have not heard the end of that. So Arsenal against Hull City is where we go next. It's becoming a permanent fixture, isn't it, in the FA Cup? This was their 3rd meeting in 3 seasons and a repeat of the final from 2014. The game was also a landmark for Arsene Wenger, the sort of statistic that John Motson never misses.
It was exactly 3 years ago today that Arsenal last lost an FA Cup tie. Blackburn Rovers inflicted Arsene Wenger's only defeat by a team from a lower division, and since then Arsenal have won 14 consecutive ties. It's Wenger's own 100th FA Cup tie as manager, and he makes 9 changes from the team that beat Leicester. Only Mertesacker and Koscielny keep their places. 19-year-old Alex Iwobi plays his 3rd FA Cup tie. Danny Welbeck makes his first start since last April. Steve Bruce makes 10 changes. Only Curtis Davies started the game against Brighton on Tuesday. Nick Powell, on loan from Manchester United, makes his whole debut. And there's a place for Josh Tymon, the 16-year-old who played against Bury in the last round. Campbell. Oh, that's a decent ball to Iwobi, and it's back again to Campbell. Nice play by Arsenal. But it was Danny Welbeck who was bustled off the ball. Here he is, Welbeck. El Neni, oh, that's a decent ball by El Neni, and the angle's a bit tight here for Flamini, but here's a player that Arsenal fans will look forward to seeing more of. He made his debut against Burnley in the last round, El Neni. Picked a perfect pass there. Corner taken quickly. And a first-time shot. Oh, and Mertesacker was in on the rebound. Hull survived. They had everybody back there. Possible handball here. Alex Bruce got in the way. Ooh, was there movement of the left arm? Arguably. I think he was a bit fortunate there, the Hull centre-back. Flamini. El Neni. Walcott waiting to make the turn. Makes it now. Oh, and the header. Oh, well, Danny Welbeck came in on that. Walcott here is the instigator. Danny Welbeck scored like that for both Arsenal and England in the past. Little slide through by Chambers. Welbeck! Jakupovic did well to get down to that for Hull. Making a save that keeps Arsenal at bay from Welbeck. Well played by Chambers, didn't have much room to work in here. This is Iwobi, then it was Campbell. And Hull City having to cover up quickly here. But for how long is the question? It's Chambers again. It's Theo Walcott! Oh. Well, seen him scoring like that before, across the goalkeeper. Well, the ground is almost silent at the moment. There hasn't been a great deal to get the fans off their seats in the first half. And this is Welbeck. Danny Welbeck has managed to get round his man here, and he's cutting inside. He's bundled right in front of Mike Dean, who says no. Well, the referee couldn't have been in a better position there. He goes down here, having done a lot of work on the ball. Mike Dean was certain enough not to even react. This is Gibbs. Oh, Iwobi found Gibbs again. Walcott's coming in! Runs free off the goalkeeper. Arsenal are still in there, though. Or are they? A positive start to the second half by Arsenal. It looked as though Walcott was going to give Arsenal the lead. It was a good run. And it was a good save set up by Gibbs, and Walcott coming at the right moment, but goalkeeper down to his right. Well, you do start to wonder where the goal is coming from. Oh, and good combination by Chambers. Oh, and brought down, was he? There's no need to stop the game, and there's Iwobi! Just when Arsenal might have been looking for a penalty. Well, there's certainly a shout. But Iwobi carried on, but he just steered it wide. And Arsenal again making progress down the right-hand side. Walcott's waiting for the pass, he's got it now. And that surely is a foul on the edge of the area. It's on Welbeck, and it's by Ryan Taylor. Hit the post, and there's the return shot from Flamini. Joel Campbell hit the post from the free kick. The best effort of the afternoon so far with his left foot. Comes right out off the post. Whether the goalie just got a touch to that, maybe he did. Yes, there's fingertips there by Jakupovic. That goes down as an excellent save. Walcott flicked that on. This is Iwobi. Welbeck. Welbeck! Good save again by Jakupovic. That's a good effort by Danny Welbeck. And a good save by Jakupovic. Well, one thing neither manager wants here is a replay. Now Aluko offside. Offside against Shoni Aluko. Moment of alarm for the Arsenal supporters, but the flag on the near side of Adam Nunn was correctly raised. Jack Wilshere there in the stand. Must be aching to get back into action, having been out for the whole season practically. Here's Koscielny, and this is Gibbs. And Giroud is coming in now, but it's too high for him. Oh, badly cleared. Sanchez! Free kick on the edge of the area. Tom Huddleston, I think. Sanchez is fouled. Two Hull players very close to him there as the board goes up for 4 minutes to go. Huddleston, I think, with the second tackle after Bruce had tried the first one. Now a free kick to Arsenal in stoppage time. And Alexis Sanchez has put the ball down. Sanchez! Oh, and another good save by Jakupovic. There was some swerve on that. Well, when the two managers picked their teams for this game, they were thinking about the fixture programme that lay ahead of them. It may be even more ominous now, because unless Arsenal do something in the next 90 seconds, they're going to have an extra game on their calendar, as are Hull. Koscielny gets the ball again. And this is Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oh, and Hull have left themselves a bit undermanned on the far side. Will they get away with it? Sanchez! Oxlade-Chamberlain! I thought Arsenal were going to do it again in the 94th minute. But this time, the whistle has gone. The FA Cup holders held on their own territory by Hull City. Arsenal 0, Hull City 0.
We've rode our luck a little bit. Our goalkeeper's played well, which he has to. But the longer it went on, you just thought, well, they deserve it for their attitude to not get beaten.
We had plenty of shots on goal, but we lacked a bit quality in the final third. Technically, our movement was not maybe always sharp enough, and in 2 or 3 occasions we've been unlucky as well, and the keeper kept them in the game. So overall, it's frustrating, but between that and going out, we are still in, we have still a chance to qualify.
We've got a crack at Arsenal again. So when you come here and get a result, with the last time we came here in the league, we got a result. So it's always good to get a result against the Arsenal, and we wish them the best of luck on Tuesday.
You had your baby daughter here, just 4 years old. What did she say to Daddy afterwards?
She just asked me when we go home. She's still small, and I know she was more of the time on the iPad watching the game. This I'm gonna never forget. Last year I played away in Liverpool. This year as well I played away in City. Against Arsenal I played twice. So big stadium, amazing stadium. So you're never gonna forget it.
He had an unbelievable day, and so did his daughter. We'll get to those saves in a moment. But a goalless game and a very different atmosphere, Mark, I would imagine, from your visit with Leicester there last week when the stadium was bouncing. We saw quite a few miserable Arsenal fans today at that game.
Yeah, it was incredible. Last week, I mean, the atmosphere at the ground was incredible. From before the whistle to when the whistle went. But also, I think the way the enthusiasm of Arsenal was completely different as well.
Not much enjoyment going on there, Kevin, but maybe with good reason.
No, I think it was with good reason. I mean, Arsene Wenger there is saying that they probably lacked quality in the final third. That was clear for us all to see today. They had 70% possession, but they just lacked any real creativity. And, they had 24 shots in the game today, but they were shots from distance. I felt they were comfortably dealt with a lot of those by Eldin Jakupovic. And Hull just made it difficult for them. They got numbers back. They couldn't really get out. They didn't really have an out ball hold themselves. But every attack after attack from Arsenal were just coming into Hull's strength. They were coming through the middle where Hull had bodies back, and every time they were getting bodies around the ball, swarming the ball and winning the ball back. And I felt it was quite easy actually for Hull. And Arsenal lacked in a number of areas today. And
Hard when you're playing a back six, though, isn't it?
Well, they did. At times it was like that, Dan. They had six across the back, and again. But what Arsenal were doing, we kept on continuously playing into the strength. They get it into a wide area here. There's nobody in the box. There's nobody in the box to get on the end of a cross. I mean, that probably changed a little bit when Giroud came on. But all Hull did, got bodies back in numbers and tried to force them wide, knowing full well, and we've seen from Arsenal in the past, they have a real reluctance to put the ball into the box and cross from wide areas. And time again, they just continued going down the same path, the same avenues. And again, I go back to the point, I think it was quite easy for Hull today, Dan.
Well, the star was certainly in the whole goal. And Jakupovic, we'll show you the statistics that he's got. He's been there for 4 years, making only 9 league appearances, not played a minute in the league this season, but did the business when called upon. 11 saves today. And Mark, you've picked out your favourite 3.
Yeah, he was excellent. I mean, 11 saves against Arsenal was the most any goalkeeper's produced against Arsenal this season. This, for me, one of the saves was a good, very, very good save down low with his foot. A lot of times you see that go under them. This one, he got away with it a little bit. He's made an incredible save in the end, but he got away with it. He takes a step here to his left, as you see. And as a goalkeeper, if you can't see the ball, you've really got to stay where you are. And if he gets it over the wall, puts it in that left-hand corner of his, he's got to go right, hats off, and say, great strike. But there, he almost undoes himself by going too far to the left and exposing the angle, the corner of the goal where he should be saving.
Enjoyed watching it on the big screen.
He certainly did. And for me, this was the best save. He's positioned well. It's a very, very good strike, and it takes a deflection along the way from Alex Bruce. And as you see, it's at least 1 deflection, if not 2, and it's going to his left, and he sticks his left hand up, and then last second, because of the deflection, he has to actually, throw his right hand across, and makes a fantastic save.
And loved it at the end, going to his daughter, who wanted to go home, playing on her iPad throughout the game, but I'm sure she'll remember that when she sees those pictures. Should Arsenal have had 2 penalties in the game, 1 in either half? Should there have been 1? Should there have been 2? What do you think?
I certainly felt they should have had 1. I think this one in the first half, Alex Bruce, the quickly taken corner, the strike comes in. Alex Bruce actually leans towards the ball. I actually feel Mike Dean has got a good view of it. He's in a good position. When the strike comes in, you can see him quite clearly sees the ball. He sees Alex Bruce leaning towards the ball. I felt that's a penalty.
Yeah, it's a clear penalty. I mean, you can like we were saying now. There's a clear lean to his left. His arm comes away from his body a little bit, and it's definitely a penalty.
And this is Callum Chambers tackled by David Myler.
I think David Myler gets himself back goal side. I actually think he wins the ball. Why I would applaud Mike Dean here is because he can't see it. He can't see the incident clearly. He can't tell you definitively whether David Myler has fouled him or won the ball. And if you can't say definitively, you don't give the penalty. And I think he wins the ball. I think it's harsh.
But Mark, hasn't he challenged him from behind, and he's interrupted Callum Chambers' run before he's touched the ball, hasn't he?
Well, we were talking about it earlier on, and even on the replay, you can't tell when he actually makes contact with Callum Chambers' legs. And I think Mike Dean's made an incredible decision now. I mean, I think he's got it right. When you look at the video replays, it's a fantastic tackle, and you'd be very, very disappointed as a Hull player and as the management if that was given against them.
And Kevin, Motti was telling us 9 changes for Arsenal, 10 for Hull. Both teams have got huge games to come next week. Is it understandable?
It is understandable. I think certainly Steve Bruce has got a game, was it Tuesday, Friday this week? Of course, Barcelona coming around for Arsenal. So it's understandable, but I think the least that they want, or the worst thing that would have happened today would be a replay, and they've both got that now. Do
you want to feel both really old? Josh Tymon, right, played again today, 16 years old, born on the day of the 1999 FA Cup final. That's disgusting, that, isn't it? 2 down, 2 to go then in terms of games, and plenty more to come from the Emirates FA Cup this weekend. Radio 5 Live has full commentary on Blackburn Rovers against West Ham. That's Sunday afternoon. Chelsea-Manchester City is the big live game on BBC One. Brendan Rodgers will be in the studio for that one. Stamford Bridge from 3:30. The draw for the 6th round, also known as the quarter-finals, is straight after that match over on BBC Two. And a special match of the day on Monday night on BBC One. I'll be at Greenhouse Meadow to see if Manchester United can tame the Shrews. To another United now, and Leeds fans are fed up with everyone saying how long they've been out of the Premier League, but their 12-year absence has been filled with unrest and almost constant upheaval. 4,000 of their fans went to Watford this weekend dreaming of FA Cup glory. Jonathan Pearce was watching.
Troy Deeney, with 7 career goals against Leeds United, will again carry the Hornets' sting in this first ever FA Cup meeting between the clubs, as Watford look for a first quarter-final since 2007. Manager Quique Flores insists he's treating the Cup as a special tournament, but still makes 6 changes. In come Pantilimon, Paredes, Britos, Holebas, Suarez and Abdi. Igalo among those rested to the bench. One Leeds change from Monday's 0-0 draw with Middlesbrough. Centre-back Liam Cooper has a dead leg. Sol Bamba replaces him. They've not gone beyond this stage since 2003, but manager Steve Evans does have his FA Cup giant-killing moments in the past, knocking Derby out with Crawley before succumbing to Manchester United 1-0 in 2011. Leeds Cup winners in 1972. Mick Jones winner against Arsenal, went up to get his medal with his arm in a sling, you'll remember that. And Amrabat has kept it in, right in front of the Leeds fans. Over 4,000 of them in that corner of the ground. Good atmosphere. Holebas, Amrabat checks back, that'll be a corner kick. Deflected away off the covering Stuart Dallas. Goes Cathcart from the back. Never scored an FA Cup goal. He's in there towards the far stick. Britos! Oh, that's a big chance. Should have hit the target from there. Free header at the back stick. Big chance missed by the Northern Ireland defender. Gets away from his marker. Whole goal to aim at. Oh, should have scored there. We would expect Watford to score in this first half. Abdi. Paredes is awaiting on the right-hand side. Here's Deeney. Too strong for Bridcut. Oh, lovely ball. Paredes should do something with it here. Amrabat's in the middle, and it nearly deflected through to him. And Silvestri gets it at the second time of asking. Watford's best move of the half. All about the power here of Deeney to shrug off his marker, then slip through a well-timed pass. Low fizzing cross on a greasy top surface. No final product though. Watford in round 5 for the first time in 7 seasons, kicking from left to right, away from the Vicarage Road end of the ground. Half occupied today by 4,100 Leeds fans. Here's Holebas. Britos rather launched it up towards Deeney, who battled hard. Amrabat, Deeney, could yet be the difference between the two sides. Oh, he's done brilliantly there beyond Bamba. It's deflected away. Watford want a penalty. Wootton slides in. One was fairly low down by his side as he was sliding in. From very close range. Well, the arm did come up, but I think it's at such close range. The referee was right. Watson with a poor corner in. Stab back out to him. Better angle than for this one. And floated in again. Deeney was in there. Capoue round the back. Again a big shout for handball. This time it was Charlie Taylor. Capoue's effort hit him on the chest. Steve Evans, Leeds' 11th manager in the last decade. Too many changes. That's a foul on Capoue. Bridcut left his foot in. Right in front of the referee, and Capoue's hurt. It is a yellow card. He's caught him on the top of the boot. Holebas and Watson stand over. It's Ben Watson with the delivery, looking for Cathcart. Good defending there. Just nicked away by the watchful Charlie Taylor. Did well there. Watford surely will make one of these corner kicks count. Watson takes it. Handed away initially by Dukara, but Watford still pressurising. Out to Watson. Lovely delivery back in, goalkeeper in 2 minds! It's an own goal by Wootton and Watford are ahead. Misfortune for him, but in football you can make your luck. And the quality of the cross put Leeds under pressure. 53 minutes on the clock, and Watford are ahead. Beautiful ball in. Keeper thought about it, Kane went back, and trying to hook it away for a corner. Scott Wootton only hooked it into his own net. Deeney felt he was impeded by the way in the middle. Doesn't matter. Watford lead. If it stays like this, Quique Sanchez Flores will have his 200th victory as a manager. Started coaching in 2000 with Real Madrid's youth team. Abdi. And still, and goes, and shoots over. Went a long, long way then. Amrabat wanted it slipped through to him, but I think his run had taken him offside. Watson. And he can now release Holebas and on to Nordin Amrabat. Into Deeney, comes beyond him, Capoue, 2-0! Watford have the 2-goal buffer, or do they? A wry smile on his face. It's ruled out. Amrabat with the run. Watch for Capoue here as he comes in. Does he stray offside? Well, is it for a foul there? Amrabat's run. Watch for Deeney in the middle. He pulls his man back there, perhaps, and he would have got to Capoue, who was certainly on the side. Goodness me, how Leeds could do with this man. Eddie Gray, hero of the first game of the 70 final against Chelsea. Ran Chelsea ragged that day. And I have to admit, I had pictures of Eddie Gray up on my bedroom wall when I was a little boy. Thiago Raga. And here's Bridcut. Right back outside him. Whitney's gone for goal. And that's the first save that Pantilimons had to make. 64 minutes gone. Leeds' first clean effort on target in the match. Holebas. Well, he's a chase for Deeney. He's in behind. Very tight angle. Needs support. Abdi's arriving on the edge of the 6-yard area. And that's headed away quite comfortably by Belushi in the end. Watson though now. Suarez to Abdi. Looking for Capoue to bustle his way through. Goes down. When he went down in the end, I don't think that was a penalty. I think if it was going to be a penalty, it was there. Oh, there was a little bit of contact afterwards. The fact that he seemed to go down in stages wouldn't have helped him. Well, I think if you're going to go out of the FA Cup, you should go out of the FA Cup all guns blazing. It's possibly what's going through their minds. They've had so many years of toil and trouble in the club's recent history. They're not out of this tie yet. Seconds remain. Can they get the equaliser? Taylor in. Pantilimon came, didn't really gather. An offside flag is raised against Irwin. Well, he hasn't had to do much, Pantilimon, in the game. One shot to save, but right at the dramatic denouement of this tie, he was called upon to be authoritative, and he got the punch away. But Watford had done enough. Scruffy FA Cup tie, sort of tie that will be settled by an own goal, and this one was.
It's the cruelest way ever to go to the FA Cup. It doesn't matter how many times we play the goal back, it's a terrible one to concede, and the boy's in tears. He's apologised to every member of staff and particularly his teammates, and he'll not sleep for a day or two. But it's the nature of football, I'm afraid. There's highs and lows, and this is probably the lowest time in his life, really.
Perfect. First, to win the match was important for us, then to go to the next round, to avoid the replay, of course, and I think performance was better in the second half than in the first half. It was difficult to disorganize this defensive line of Leeds, but very happy with the result.
You look pretty angry in the second half. The referee had to have a word with you. What was that all about?
Well, I think you've seen the time wasted, and they go 1-0 up, and it resembled something you'd see abroad. When you see it in English football. I thought he had a good game, Michael. I've had issues with him in the past, but I think he was good. He come across, asked me what my complaint was. I told him. He says I'll try and hurry them up. So no complaints.
Great day for Watford. They're one win away from Wembley. It was, Steve Evans says there, really disappointing day for Leeds and for Scott Wooden in particular.
Yeah, he was very, very unlucky. I mean, it was as you see here on the clip, it was a pretty good ball in from Ben Watson. As you can see now in the far post, Deeney is behind Wooden over his right shoulder. You got Bridcut there as well, which arguably he's wrestled him to the ground. So if the ball had not gone in the back of the net, maybe it would have been a penalty. But Wooden's looking over his right shoulder. He thinks Deeney's behind him. He tries to clear it, and he's just really unlucky. I mean, it's a nightmare for a defender, but it happens. And I mean, he's just got to pick himself up, and it's one of those things. And I'm sure there's not one player in that dressing room who's going to have any problem with him.
Jonathan Pearce said in the commentary about Leeds fans wanting their team to go for it, and they just never got in the Watford box for much of the game, did they?
Yeah, I think they held a good account for themselves, but the only thing is, I mean, you see there on the graph, they had a lot of possession all over the field. The one place where they didn't really have enough possession was in the 18-yard box. I mean, there was six touches in the box. Bearing in mind, Leeds had 4 corners as well. I mean, you can see on this shot here, when they did make the rare sort of venture into Watford's half, into the corner,
no one there.
You've got Ancelucci, there's no one else there in support. He ends up trying to hold it up. loses the ball, and it sort of fizzles out. And there's another time here where in the end, you've got Dukara running into the corner, looking into the box. There's only one kind of player at the edge of the box, comes back out, and ends up again. What ends up happening is players end up coming towards the ball. And you end up, in this instance, you have 4 players coming into the ball and closing the space, and they run into just defenders. And it's easy for Watford to clear.
OK, well, Watford go marching on to the quarter-finals. One more game to show you. When Bournemouth and Everton met in the Premier League in November, it finished 3-3 and was quickly hailed as one of the matches of the season. Martin Keown and Steve Wilson went to the Vitality Stadium in round 5, hoping for more of the same.
The Cup has come to Dorset. Well, there are football grounds where 40, 50, 60 or even 70,000 people can sound far fewer. Bournemouth's Vitality Stadium capacity around 12,000 is quite the opposite. For Bournemouth, Federici in goal, the Cup semi-finalist with Reading last season. Back 4, which includes Sylvain Distin, over 200 games for Everton, and a Cup winner with Portsmouth. Dan Gosling, another former Everton man in midfield, and Josh King up front today. Roberto Martinez has gone very strong. In fact, it's an unchanged side. Joel Robles in goal. Phil Jagielka there playing his 600th club match today. 5 in midfield. Lots of talent, lots of experience. Barkley maybe the pick of the bunch, but Lennon's in great form. And up front, Romelu Lukaku, who is only 2 goals away from becoming Everton's most prolific goal scorer in a single season since Gary Lineker got 40 in 85-86. It's young and younger today in the dugouts. Roberto Martinez is 42, Eddie Howe 38. It's only the 5th time these two sides have met, only once before in the FA Cup, way back in 1957. Everton won that one 5-0. Barry forward, looking for Lukaku. Running now with Elphick, and he's got the pace to beat Elphick. Here's Lukaku, Lennon in the middle, and Federici got a leg on it and then gets his gloves on it. Fantastic pace from Lukaku, far too much for Elphick.
Well, it was like an international sprinter there, wasn't he? And just at the end of it, great goalkeeping from Federici.
Won the FA Cup with Wigan, Roberto Martinez. Distin, good ball, Daniels, Lennon trying to recover. Jagielka behind for the Bournemouth corner.
Again, it was an important touch, wasn't it? First we've really seen Daniels getting down this left-hand side, good early cross. Jagielka was there to match it.
Daniels' corner, it's floating, and there's an appeal and a penalty. And not too many complaints either from James McCarthy. Big appeal, and Martin Atkinson had no doubt at all, and James McCarthy stuck his arm out.
Absolutely no complaints. Certainly massive opportunity here now.
Charlie Daniels has scored twice from the spot this season. Can he fire them in front in this 5th round tie? Daniels for Bournemouth. Saved by Joel, and the follow-up is wide. And the Everton players rush to their goalkeeper. And it's still all square, and Charlie Daniels denied by Joel Robles in the Everton goal.
Well, he hits it with plenty of power. It's a fantastic save. He reads it brilliantly.
Look at the follow-up, Martin. They've got in each other's way as it rebounds.
Well, look at those players celebrating like a goal.
Lukaku. Barkley. Cleverly. Now Lukaku has a hand raised in the middle. Cleverly goes to Barkley. Little deflection on there, and it scoops in. Ross Barkley for Everton puts the Merseysiders in front. Federici couldn't get back. The ball spinning crazily over the top and into the net.
Yeah, well, when that ball comes back onto Barkley there, he's always thinking about the shot. Yes, he gets lucky, but maybe he deserves that. He's willing to have a shot. He's got the ability. Look at it, just comes off the defender, Gosling. And Federici backpedaling, just can't reach it.
Unlucky Gosling. He's got to try to make the block.
Agonising for the goalkeeper, isn't it? He just can't get there. He's trying to bend it round to that top corner. The deflection there, it's massive help for him.
And Everton are 35 minutes away from the last 8 of the FA Cup.
This is where they've got to move the ball here now quicker, isn't it, Bournemouth? Need a reaction, need to get their fans on board.
And they've got a free kick here.
A wild clearance, Jagielka. Dangerous area this.
Joel in the Everton goal, on his toes. Stanislas round the wall and just round the post, thanks to a deflection. Wrong-footed the keeper, the deflection, and nearly crept in. Everton fans in good voice. That's a good ball. Here's Murray, found by Stanislas. Ritchie getting forward, Gosling getting forward. Murray! Great defending by Jagielka. Watched the ball and not the feet, and made the block. Bournemouth's corner, Ritchie with the delivery. Stanislas off after it. Congested in that 6-yard area. And it goes free header! Oh, and Gosling, anywhere else he would have scored. But he put it exactly where Joel was standing.
Wow, it's a peach of a ball in, isn't it? And he's all on his own in the box. He puts it straight at the keeper.
Well, incredible that in a congested area, a player should find so much space.
But if you put those balls in there, you ask the question.
Here's King. King showing good pace. Getting the better of Funes Mori and Ritchie over the top. But the changes have given them some more energy.
I think Eddie Howe will be expecting more. He should be hitting the target.
Lennon. Nice back heel. Aaron Lennon here could win it. Or Barkley might. Oh! Took a deflection. It's a corner.
It just looks like he's going to hit the back of the net. And somehow
it's hit him on the elbow, Nuno Kane. Everton corner. Oviedo to Barry. Where's it going? Lukaku! Almost done and dusted now. Romelu Lukaku's 21st goal of the season. And barring something remarkable in the last 15 minutes, Everton will be in the last 8 of the cup.
Well, it's such a soft goal to concede. It squirms through that near post. There's only one winner. Lukaku wants it more than anyone else. Little flick, and it just gets into that little area, that little pocket there in front of the keeper. Thanks very much.
Wasn't going to miss that one.
3 players coming to the fore in some respects and all showing their justification that you've shown in them. Ross Barkley, of course, Romelu Lukaku, and Joel Robles in the first half.
Well, it's a big moment. I think the penalty, scoring goals or conceding a goal at any stage away from home is gonna dictate a little bit the rest of the game. It was a big moment. I think Joel has been really enjoying his football, real good confidence. I think Tim Howard has been a big influence on that, allowing him to feel comfortable, allowing him to feel what it takes to be goalkeeper at Everton. And it was a big moment of the game and important in the way that he kept the clean sheet from that point on until the end.
We were well in the game. We're very dogged. Lads gave everything again. No criticism in terms of lack of effort or commitment. I think just they had the extra quality, and of course key moments in the game we didn't take our chances again.
Today we got the win and we're focusing on the quarter-final and hopefully kicking on in the tournament and getting to the final at Wembley.
He was the man of the match. Look at the statistics, fellas. More assists and goals this season than the rest of his career put together. Yeah. Lukaku said it's a blessing to play with Ross Barkley. Why, Kevin?
Yeah, well, he's scored or assisted 1 in every 3 Everton goals this season. And the one thing I've liked about him in his career is this. You know he's got this ability. He's got this natural ability to beat players, almost like Paul Gascoigne. That's who he's been compared to. But there's 2 big things I think that have improved this season in his game. The 2 big aspects is that tracking back, tracking runners when Everton don't have possession of the ball. He's learned his responsibility for the side more this season. I mean, this is great skill from him here to keep hold of the ball in that situation. And of course, we've highlighted the goals that he's got this season. But one thing I've noticed about him this season is his desire to get into the penalty area. Look how eager he is to get up alongside Romelu Lukaku here, to get into the penalty area, to create a goal-scoring opportunity for himself. And I mean, this is where the goal comes about from today. And it's just his spatial awareness. Just gets himself half a yard, gets a bit fortunate, of course, he does with the strike. But he could have had 2 goals today. This could have been the second goal. I think that's actually handball there. He was aiming for the far corner. And it's a big summer for him as well, ahead for Ross Barkley. I'm sure Roy Hodgson would have been delighted with his performance today, because I think on current form he'll start for England at the Euros.
OK, so Ross Barkley had a good day. And Rob Bledis seems to have been moved into the position of Everton's number one, really impressing the manager, Roberto Martinez. And with the penalty incident, you think he played it beautifully?
Yeah, I think we did. He did. He did very, very well. This is a clear penalty, James McCarthy. I mean, he's just stuck his arm out. It's just instinct. He sat on his feet very, very long time, waited for Charlie Daniels to make his move.
Did he read it then?
Yeah, I think he did. I mean, you can see, Charlie Daniels has got quite a straight run up here, and he's a left footer. It's very difficult for him to put it at the keeper's right, and he's hit it with power. You can see Robles, he stays on his feet to a really long time, to right at the last second. Then he throws himself to the left, makes a really good save. As you can see here, I mean, the Bournemouth players actually get in each other's way in the end, and the fluff the shot over the crossbar. And bearing in mind, this is at 0-0 as well. So this is a very, very important moment in the game. And Robles, since he's come in the team, has done extremely well. And obviously James McCarthy,
the happiest man on the
very happy man there.
Yeah. They want to win it, don't they, Everton?
Yeah. Before the game, Roberto Martinez mentioned about what the FA Cup meant to him coming to England as a foreign player when he's first come to England. So it's a big chance for Everton this season to go and win a trophy. Yeah.
Full strength, which is pretty rare at this stage
Yes.
in the Premier League side. And while all your opposition are playing games in the FA Cup or other competitions, Leicester having a well-earned rest, this is playing into your hands, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. I mean, like the manager said, we have some chance for us to gather some sun. However, I stayed in the UK, so there wasn't a lot of sun whilst I've been here.
Well, it's been lovely to have you on Match
Thank
of
you.
the Day. Thank you very much for that. This is what all the headlines are being made tomorrow in the papers for you. Let's have a quick look. Most of the Sunday newspapers lead with the shocking scenes at Reading, where West Brom's Chris Brunt will sit with that coin. Sunday Telegraph says it's one in the eye for football. Chris bears Brunt is the headline in the Sunday Express. While in other football news, the Sun on Sunday claimed that Manchester United bosses can't decide between Jose Mourinho and Ryan Giggs to be their next manager. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Lovely time, Mark. Kev, come on. We are exactly halfway through the fifth round of the FA Cup. Fans of Reading, Watford and Everton can rest easy. They are into the quarter-finals. The big question is who will join them. From all of us, thanks for watching. Goodbye.